Welcome or welcome back to the Lawkward Chronicles. I was gonna say coffee shop. Why? I just went to a coffee shop. That was very weird. Okay, well, welcome back to the Lawkward Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we're going over my March TBR. Like frazzled for no reason. That was super weird. We have some books that I would like to read in March. Oh, none of them are green. This is upsetting. Let's get into it. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books on my TBR. Will I stick to it? Probably not, but we're gonna try. I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This is just guidelines. There were some books that I didn't get to last month that I'm hopefully going to get to this month. Let's just start. Okay, I don't know why I'm panicking right now. I am going to be rereading a book. I am going to try to reread books, like my favorite books. Actually, I'm just going to try to reread books in general because there are so many of my favorite books on here, and I hate that I don't get to reread them and re-experience them because of my own head. So I think going forward, I'm going to try to reread a book that I want to reread because I can, because I own them and nobody says I can't. With that being said, I'm going to reread Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, mainly because the show comes out at the beginning of March. Probably when this video is out, it's already out. The movie, show, TV show. And I absolutely loved this book when I initially read it, and I really want to go back and give it a good old annotation. I don't like to do that initially when I read a book because I'm like, what if I hate this book and just want to get rid of it off of my shelves? So when I reread books that I already know I love, I'm more inclined to like write, highlight, annotate in them. All right, and I've said this so many times, so many times, but I'm gonna get around to reading Room by Emma Donoghue. I just feel like this is gonna be such a heavy story. Oh, I'm really nervous about this book, to be honest. It is to 5-year-old Jack. Room is the world. It's where he was born. It's where he and his Ma eat and sleep and play and learn. At night, Ma shuts him safely in the wardrobe where Jack is meant to be asleep when old Nick visits. Room is home to Jack, but to Ma, it's the prison where she has been held for 7 years. Through her fierce love for her son, she has created a life for him in this 11 by 11 foot space. But Jack's curiosity is building alongside Ma's own desperation, and she knows that Room cannot contain either much longer. This just sounds so heavy. I want to read it so bad. Oh my gosh. I have really good eyesight, but this is small print. That is small print. Oh dear. I have the audiobook, so I may listen to that because I will be going to Chicago, driving to Chicago for 6.5 hours. I think that might be the road I have to take because honestly, I can't see those words. Those are so tiny. Well, okay. Well, Room by Emma Donoghue. And then next up, I would like to read Half-Broke Horses by Jeanette Walls. This was one of my friend's favorite reads a couple years back, and they gave it to me, and I haven't read it. So that's cool. It's a true life novel. I may also listen to this audiobook because I do have that on reserve for the trip too. So these two will most likely be consumed via audiobook because they both sound very heavy to me, and I just don't know how I can emotionally read that. But listening to it, it's something different. The back cover says, "Those old cows knew trouble was coming before we did." So begins the story of Lily Casey Smith, Jeanette Walls' no-nonsense, resourceful, and spectacularly compelling grandmother. By age 6, Lily was helping her father break horses. At 15, she left home to teach in a frontier town, riding 500 miles on her pony alone to get to her job. She learned to drive a car and fly a plane. Ooh, badass. And with her husband Jim, she ran a vast ranch in Arizona. She raised 2 children, and one of whom is Jeanette's memorable mother, Rosemary Smith Walls, unforgettably portrayed in The Glass Castle. Lily survived tornadoes, droughts, floods, the Great Depression, and the most heartbreaking personal tragedy. She bristled at prejudice of all kinds against women, Native Americans, and anyone else who didn't fit the mold. Rosemary Smith Walls always told Jeanette that she was like her grandmother. And in this true life novel, Jeanette Walls channels the kindred spirit. Half-Broke Horses is Laura Ingalls Wilder for adults, as riveting and dramatic as Isaac Denison's Out of Africa or Beryl Markham's West with the Night. Destined to become a classic, it will transfix readers everywhere. I've heard of neither of those books that was just mentioned. Then the next book that I didn't get around to last month because honestly it intimidated me, mainly because it's so freaking heavy and thick. Like, it is thick, and that is Ghosted by J.M. Darhauer. I wanted to read this so bad last month, but I was getting in slump territory and I was nervous that I would start reading this and not truly engage in what I thought. I don't know what kind of paper they're using, but it is heavy paper. Pretty much the synopsis is it's a second chance romance. This guy who is now an actor is going to be playing a superhero. Him and this girl grew up like loving superheroes, and then there's a child involved and he's trying to get back with her and apologize, and she's like, you gotta prove it kind of thing, and apparently the kid makes it. It was a really terrible synopsis. It sounds really good, and I believe it's one of Sarah Caroli's favorite books, and I love Sarah Caroli. So I'm excited to read this. I am going to read this because I really want to. Next up, I didn't get to any Colleen Hoover books last month, which is such a disappointment. So I'm going to be reading Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I was supposed to read it last month and I'm just pushing it to this month because I can. It's high school romance. Skye is a goody two-shoes. Dean is a bad boy and things happen and secrets are exposed and trauma bonding or something. Synopsis complete. All right, next up is The Reunion by Kayla Olson. It just seems very lighthearted, very fun. And it's about these people that were on a popular TV show and they come back for a reunion show like a decade later. And there is rumors of them having spin-off, but there was also like, it was this whole romance thing. Again, another great synopsis by me. And next up, I'm trying to get through my book of the month books because there's too many on the shelf. And I want to really work on reading them as soon as I can. Dating Dr. Dill, didn't get around to it last month, going to read it this month by Nisha Sharma. Dr. Dill has a TV show, and Karina, her father wants to sell her late mother's house, and she said no, and he said, I will give it to you if you get married or engaged or something in 4 months. So it's marriage of convenience and enemies, frenemies to lovers. It sounds good. I just need to do it. Just need to get there. Oh, that's fallen over. Why are these books so slippery? This leads us to the book club pick. I struggled with this one because I feel like I have a lot of great choices on this TBR shelf here that we could choose from. But I didn't feel like it really captured the book club feeling. I am very excited to read this one, and I think there will be some good discussions and good topics of discussions and more in-depth. How many times am I going to say discussions? More in-depth discussions about this book and different scenarios and being in somebody else's shoes, which brings us to Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. I really liked Jojo Moyes' writing. So Nisha Cantor and Sam Kemp are two very different women. Nisha lives the globe-trotting life of the seriously wealthy until her husband inexplicably announced he wanted a divorce and cut her off entirely. Nisha is glamorous, fearless, and determined to hang on to the life she has created for herself. But in the meantime, she must scramble to adjust to an entirely new landscape. She doesn't even have the shoes she was, until a moment ago, standing in. That's because Sam, at the bleakest point of her life, has accidentally taken Nisha's gym bag, but Sam hardly has time to worry about something as petty as a lost bag. She's struggling to keep herself, her out-of-work husband, and her sarcastic teenage daughter afloat. Or is it petty? When she tries on Nisha's 6-inch high Christian Louboutin red crocodile shoes for a series of important meetings, the unexpected results give her a jolt of confidence that makes her realize something must change, and that thing is herself. When the two women finally meet, they will discover that each needs the other to put right the wrongs that have been done to them and to the women around them, from Nisha's enterprising colleague Jasmine to Sam's steadfast best friend Andrea. I think it's going to be very heartfelt. I think it's going to be like a soul-searching book, probably make an impact, hopefully, on the way I see things and how I want to live my life. That is our book club pick for the month of March. I wish it was something with leprechauns. Oh well, a life-changing women's fiction, literary fiction, whatever it is. Close enough. Neato burrito. These are the books that I am hoping to read in the month of March. Can we do it? We'll find out. Stay tuned until the end of the month. But in the meantime, enjoy all the other bookish content, and if you like any of my bookish content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the bookish content. Okay, with that, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!